Okey, Assalamualaikum ya. Salam sejahtera, salam kuasa ketiga. Jadi maaf ya, saya hendak buat live ini dalam bahasa English dengan harapan ianya sampai kepada lebih ramai ya, boleh digunakan. So saya mungkin ulang dalam bahasa Malaysia nantilah. So ini dalam bahasa Inggeris ya. So in the wee hours of the morning, as I was watching Trump's address at a rally, I was shocked to witness live an attempted assassination on the presidential contender for the November presidential elections in the United States, which is Donald John Trump. And media reports have confirmed that a bullet had grazed the top of Trump's right ear, and he was rushed to hospital. He was assisted by what they call these security and what concerns me is this is no longer a matter for the Americans to, you know, it's not an American thing. It is not a United States thing. This is a red flag for the whole world. The level of toxicity in the politics being played up in the United States is so bad that I think the media has to shoulder the burden of what had happened to Trump, especially the left-wing media. This is the same media that had been for years demonizing Trump, regurgitating clips to make a clown out of Trump, regardless of who he is, regardless of claims that he lies, regardless of claims that he exaggerates. But the media had placed a lot of emphasis on demonizing Trump, and this is the result. An assassination attempt, a very, very bad attempt, no doubt. And it appeared that the person who had the alleged assailant who was shot down was not professional. And that's how it appeared. Now this is going on around the world. Politics is toxic. It's so toxic even in Malaysia. Okay, things are so divisive the world over. In Malaysia you have the non-Muslims on one end of the aisle and you have the Muslims on the other side. In America you have the conservatives and the liberals. Trump is the conservative, and it's a free-for-all in the media. Now the left-wing media in the United States cannot wash their hands of this tragedy, because it is the same media that was caught red-handed gaslighting the world about Joe Biden's intellectual equity, about his mental stability, about claims that he is cognitively challenged. They gaslit the world. They lied to the world. And when it became too apparent, when it became impossible to hide it following the 27th of June 2024 debate, where Biden was halting, he gave a halting performance, he mumbled gibberish to finish sentences, he lost his train of thought midway while responding to Trump. It became so obvious that the intellectual equity of the president, the incumbent, was in question, that the same left-wing media that gaslit the whole world for over 3.5 years did an about turn, and they started pouncing on Biden. They lost their credibility. And this is a media that has been pouncing on Trump for years. You have the White House press secretary telling people that Biden is sharp as tack. He is on top of the game. They have been regurgitating that excuse for months, for years in fact. And now we discover that you have a Parkinson's expert who had been in and out of the White House 8 times in the period of in a span of 8 months. And they conceal things from the world. That's the media. They shape your perceptions, they shape your attitudes. And now this. You have a shooting. You have a shooting, not the first in the United States, but nonetheless one that occurred in what I can only describe as the most critical of times. It's so critical, it's so divisive, it's so toxic in the United States that there is fear that the country is going to plunge into a civil war regardless who wins the election. And now civilians were killed, or a civilian was killed as a result of the shooting, and the assailant, the shooter, was brought down. He's dead. And what does the media have to say about it? Likewise here in Malaysia. Yeah. I think this is a red flag for all world leaders to rethink how politics is played on the home front, the respective home fronts. I think freedom of speech isn't without restraint, and we practice that here in Malaysia. It's not without restraint. And I think all countries need to go, get around the round table, sit down, discuss this matter, and reflect on how what had transpired in the United States could happen on home ground, and what are the steps we're going to take to prevent such occurrences here in this country, in Malaysia. It is sad. It is sad how the media, the world over, and even in Malaysia, is used for divisive politicking, with each party claiming that they are innocent, they are righteous, and the other guys on the other side are the ones who are racist, who are extremists. This has got to stop. I would like to see the left-wing media, the left-leaning media in the United States being held accountable for what has happened, particularly since it has been proven that they had been gaslighting the public for years. I would like to see that. This is a borderless world. We are in a global era. There is no such thing as this is an American thing, it's none of our business. There's no such thing. This is a country that claims to be the leader of the free world. That's their claim. Being the leader of the free world, they have to set an example. Now, if that country that wants to lead the free world cannot be open about the intellectual equity of the president, who is holding the nuclear codes, if that country cannot get its act right, cannot ensure that the media isn't weaponized to intoxicate the minds of the people with loads of hogwash, to align them to a narrative that benefits those in power, and they don't deserve to be the leaders of the free world. And that's my 2 cents on it.